heard and saw what looked like a brick hitting the wall next to us. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be diving headfirst into the supernatural and serving up some spine-tingling tales from a few of you followers. So dim the lights, grab your popcorn, and let's get spooky. Alrighty folks, let's get into it, shall we? This story comes from a follower called Jack, who tells us about how his friends explored an apparent haunted brickworks. My friend Mike, Ryan and I thought it would be a fun adventure to explore the abandoned brickworks that's located on the outskirts of our town. It always sounds like a fun idea, but it never is. I live in Australia, by the way. Oh, hey. Hey, bestie.
What's up?
We had always been fascinated with urban explorations. The brickworks have been abandoned for decades, and parts of it are crumbling and parts are not safe to explore. I guess that's why it's fenced off and security regularly visits the site to make sure there are no trespassers. But we knew a way around in the back, which is located on a street with lots of houses and trees. Wait, that sounds really familiar. That sounds like the brickworks in my area. It could be a coincidence, but the brickworks, there's a back way in and it's on a street where there's houses, so you can literally park there and get in that way. And I don't condone anybody trespassing. It's a very dangerous idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, the legend has it that the brickworks was cursed, its dark history shrouded in tales of tragedy and sorrow. Stories circulated about accidents that had claimed the lives of workers. Yeah, it's pretty dangerous work. That is pretty similar to the brickworks in my area. Lots of unfortunate happenings there. And some claim they have seen strange apparitions. Undeterred by the tale, we decided to venture into the unknown, armed with curiosity and a few flashlights. Only flashlights. Where's the holy water, babes? Take the holy water. Okay, as we entered the brickworks, there was a sense of foreboding hung in the air. It could have just been because it was so dark and we were all so scared, even though none of us admitted it. Yeah. Nobody wants to admit they're scared when they're doing things like that. That's always the way. Nobody's going to admit they're petrified. The dilapidated.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
The dilapidated buildings cast long shadows, and you could hear the sounds of our footprints echoing eerily through the empty halls. Yeah. But there were a few things that happened that made us scratch our heads. The first strange occurrence happened when we heard and saw what looked like a brick hitting the wall next to us. It narrowly missed Mike, crashing into the wall with a thud. We were terrified and didn't move for a while. After we calmed down, we continued to explore the labyrinth of corridors, each step leading us deeper into the heart of the brickworks. I wouldn't have. As soon as that happened, I would have left. I probably would have ran. I would have been petrified. Suddenly, there was a blood-curdling scream, which scared us. It could have just been another group of people because there are always people exploring the location, but it terrified us. Yeah, I would have been so scared. I don't blame you. The final weird thing that happened was at the kiln of the brickworks. The big oven that they cook the bricks in. As we headed back to the car, Ryan threw a rock in there. As we walked past it, the large metal door slammed shut. Oh, yuck. I have no idea if there was anybody in there messing with us, but we legged it and didn't stay to find out. Yeah, that's a good choice.
I'm out.
I wouldn't have. Yep, good choice. We later found out that there was a devastating fire that consumed parts of the brickworks and claimed the lives of several workers there. I think the place is haunted by those who were lost there. I think so too. Thanks for sharing your story. That was great. All right, so our next story comes from one of our followers who lives in a small town of Massachusetts in the USA. I lived with my dad when I was younger. My parents got divorced and I decided to go live with him for a while. We always walked past this dilapidated old Victorian building on the outskirts of town. It had been abandoned for many years. Of course, there was always been rumors of it being haunted because it was abandoned. Yeah. Sometimes places like that just look like that, but they're not really. One day my dad saw a for sale sign and decided to purchase the home, hoping to restore it to its former glory. We were excited about the prospects of creating new memories within its ancient walls. Little did we know what would unfold. Oh, oh no. Damn, I thought this was going to be a good one. Good, nice story. As my dad began to renovate the home, strange occurrences began to unfold. I remember doors opening on their own, but my dad always said it was because the house was old. I would hear whispers echoing through the empty halls, and my dad would always lose his keys. I always believed that they were being moved. One time, they showed up in the freezer. My dad was level-headed and had a logical explanation for everything. Don't they all? They just always seem to know how to explain it away. I reckon he was scared but didn't want to admit it. Yeah, he probably was. He's probably trying to make sure that you weren't scared too.
I'm so fucking scared right now, you shut up!
Showing up in the freezer, like, how did your dad explain that one away? Like, just forgetful? Was digging in the freezer to get something out and left him in there? I decided to delve into the history of the home and discovered the previous family left unexpectedly. I didn't find any tragedies associated with the property. That's good. That's really good. But apparently there used to be an old graveyard located across the road from the house. Supposedly it was moved, but who knows? Maybe they just moved the headstones. I've actually heard of this happening where they say they've moved it, but they just move the headstones and leave the remains there, which is sad. Anyway, when I told my dad, he decided to contact a local paranormal investigation group. He had explained to them what we'd found out, and they suggested to do a ritual to protect the property. I remember them coming in and walking around the home with what I think was sage and smoke. They also dug holes and put crystals at the four corners of the property to protect it. After they performed this ritual, the paranormal activity began to subside. I never really had anything else happen after that. Over time, my dad restored the house and transformed the old place into a warm and welcoming home. Then I headed off to college and my dad sold it to downsize. I still stroll past the home from time to time and it feels happy to me. That's a happy ending. It sounds like a nice place now. Thank you for sharing your story. I love it. And that's it, folks. Thanks for joining us today on our spine-chilling adventure into the paranormal. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for more eerie content. Thanks to everybody who sent me their stories. I loved hearing about them. If you have an experience or story that you want to share, please send us a message. I would love to hear all about them. And that'll do it, folks. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.